Hello again, football fans, and welcome to another edition of the Banner-Press Coaches Show. My name is Joe Alberico, sports editor for the Banner-Press, and once again I am joined by Blinn College head football coach Ryan Mahon. Coach, I know it was a tough weekend, but how are we doing this week?
We're getting better. I mean, we got a lot of bruised egos, but we're getting there.
Well, speaking of which, this past Saturday we saw the Buccaneers start slow and eventually fall 27-24 to Tyler Saturday night here in Brenham. I think the big takeaway, you guys decided to make a change at quarterback. Chance Amy, who was playing his first collegiate snap and his first live game since his senior season at Robert E. Lee High School in Tyler. What do you chalk it up to? I know it was a tough and disappointing night for him.
Well, I mean, he's young, nerves. I mean, it's a guy that he's very competitive, very methodical. It's something he can learn from. But then also you have to compliment Brock. I mean, Brock Landis, and the fact that he came in cold and he came in and he executed the offense the way we should be doing it. And he really came out with a really good game for us. Unfortunately, it wasn't how we wanted to end up, but I think it's a learning experience for everybody, including myself. To where we can improve upon it, and that's my goal this week, is to make sure that these kids understand it, and I really, for a large part, they do. But we'll make sure we make the proper adjustments.
You don't want to put everything on the shoulders of the quarterback, obviously, or Amy. Obviously, that first half was tough across the board. The defense, didn't really show up there in the first half. And do you chalk it up to execution, or did Tyler kind of come out and show you some things that you hadn't seen on film?
No, that's just it. I didn't recognize my team in the first half. I'll be really honest with you. But it took that. I think it's a really good learning experience for us, to where I told them we're going to have adversity. Well, we had it, but what are you going to do with the second half? And we did a really good job of executing what we're coached to do. In the first half, like I said, I didn't recognize who I was looking at. And in the second half, I really did, and that's the team that I want.
So obviously, the big change coming out of the first half into the second was at quarterback and Landis. But what was the game plan when you go into into the locker room? What are you telling the guys, and what were the changes and some of the adjustments that you made to give your guys a chance in the second half?
Do what you're coached to do. That was a really big thing. Do exactly what you're coached to do. Stop trying to embellish, try to do things your way. It's not going to work. But if you do what you're coached to do, life's going to be just fine. And that's what we did. It was a night and day difference.
You told me after the game that you were extremely impressed with the way the guys didn't just lay down. I think you used the word crater. We didn't crater. You're probably not surprised that these guys didn't just say, all right, we're down 20-0, let's go home. I mean, they came out ready to fight over the last 30 minutes of play.
That was really impressive for me. That gives me encouragement as a coach, because they're listening to what we're saying to them. So yeah, absolutely, they came out and they came out to fight, and that's what it is, and that's what it entails, and that's what it's going to take down in the long run. So
to be 1-1 right now, I know it's tough to lose your first conference game, but you told me one game's not going to define our season, and you've got 8 of these left, 7 or 8 of these left. So how do you make the most of the setback? I mean, how do you turn this negative into a positive?
You just flip it. That's all you do. Just, hey, what did we do wrong, and what can we correct, and are we going to correct it? And then are we going to do what we're coached to do? That's my steps on how we're going to get this thing turned around. The kids they're on board. They're upset, obviously, but they're also encouraging the fact that we get the next one. And the next game is the most important one, and because it's the next game. We can only play one game at a time, and they're ready to go for Navarro.
So the next one is a big one. Obviously, let's go back to the most important position on the field. That's the quarterback. Do you have things figured out on how you're going to handle that? I know you don't like to share your hand too much, but are we going to see a little bit more of Brock going forward? How do you break that down?
There is no quarterback controversy. Brock Landis is my quarterback.
Okay, fair enough. So let's move on to Navarro. They're an 0-2 team. You guys are getting your second game in the Southwest Junior College Football Conference. You guys go there, and they're coming off a 33 loss to number 6 Kilgore. What do you know about them? What are you expecting?
They're very athletic, offensively and defensively. They're going to throw the mess out of the ball. That's what they're going to do. Defensively, they move between the 3-4 and a 4-2. Just kind of, you can dictate what you're gonna see, but they're very good. I mean, every team we face is good. So we got to make sure we're ready for it. We're prepared. We understand coverages. We understand what they're going to do on offense. I know they're a little bit beat up at quarterback, but there's no guarantee if a kid gets well or doesn't get well. So we'll see.
All right, so I know you'd like to say let's go 1-0 every week, but as far as this game, is this about as must-win as it gets, given the circumstance?
Oh, every game's that. Every game's a must-win. And I'll never bend on that, but this is the game. It's the only game we get to play this week, so I'm highly focused on it. They're highly focused on it, and that's the only thing we can control is this one game.
All right, Coach. Well, I'm pulling for you. Good luck this weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we will see you guys in week 3.